All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking, where we talk about public speaking. But today we're going to just connect and talk about each other and what each other is doing and what each other is up to. So I have asked Tommy to share a little bit about his new book that is coming out tomorrow. Take it away, Tommy.
All right. Yeah, I've been working on a book for about 3 years and it launches tomorrow. So in the chat, I did a screenshot, and if you click on it, it will enlarge. And the title of the book is When God Hands You Lemons, Squeezed by Adversity, Poured with Purpose, and Sweetened with Grace. And it's all about how do we get through, we always get lemons in life. We can't avoid it. Sometimes we might foresee them, but it's those ones that are thrown in our laps unexpectedly that are so hard to handle. And that um, that's what this book is about. How do we handle those kinds of lemons? How do we get through those tough times in life? How do we open up to seeing God's grace in the midst of the suffering, in the midst of our difficulty? So um, it and if I may, could I take a couple minutes, Arvee, to read my introduction?
I was just going to suggest read a little bit of it because I want to tell you, Tommy just blew me away with his writing skills. And, there's so many writers here. All of you are writers. I know. And Franny's written a couple of books. I know, Carol, you've written, right? You write all the time. And Ramona just wrote a book. Jackie's a writer. She has, what, 3 books, Jackie? 2 or 3? And Tanya, I don't know if you have one or not, but it's coming because Women Are Worthy of Wealth book is coming. But anyway, so we're full of a room full of writers here, and I'm telling you, Tommy's words, the Holy Spirit has just spoke through him and gave him the words. They're so eloquent, and they're metaphorically speaking about when life gives you lemons. So take it away, Tommy. Go ahead and
Yes.
read to us. Share your brilliance.
And thank you, but I want to give credit before I start that where credit is due, because Arvee set me on the path to become a writer because I didn't believe I could be a writer, and she talked me into doing the compilation book with her uh,
Uh-huh.
2, 3 years ago, and
Uh-huh.
I did one chapter, and then that encouraged me, like, okay, if I can do one chapter, maybe I could do a whole book. So that's that. I know I wouldn't have written it, Arvee, if it hadn't been for your input on that compilation book.
Well, thank you.
Okay, here's the introduction to, it's just one page, so it won't take long. When God hands you lemons. It all began with a battered lemon tree in my backyard, gnarled, weathered, half eaten by termites, yet bowing with golden fruit. I sit beneath its branches as I write these words to you, watching sunlight scatter through leaves that should have given up seasons ago. The tree should not be alive. It should not be bearing fruit, but it does. The tree, let me interject here, is been eaten by termites. And if you look at it, it should be dead because the branches are half eaten, yet somehow it's still alive. And it's a metaphor for our lives. This tree should not be alive. It should not be bearing fruit, but it does. I didn't know if I would still be alive. I thought my fruitful days were over, yet I am bearing greater fruit than ever before, and so can you. We do not choose the lemons that fall into our lives, those sharp, sour moments that catch us off guard and squeeze us dry. A diagnosis, a betrayal, a failure so deep it echoes in our bones. We stand stunned beneath the branches of life, wondering if there's any sweetness left inside of us. And yet hidden in each lemon is a seed. In Hebrew thought, the word zera means both seed and offspring. That same ancient language that teaches us that life begins in the dark soil also tells us that the bitter fruit can birth something unexpected if we're willing to be pressed, to be squeezed, and to pour out what we hold. This book is not just for the weary soul staring at the abyss, but it is certainly for you. It is for the dreamer who dares to build something from nothing, who knows every venture, every step of faith brings its own season of sour setbacks. It is for the one who risks, who hopes, who prays, who presses on when the tree looks dead, but the roots are secretly alive. When God hands you lemons is not about shallow optimism. It is about holy alchemy. It is about discovering how bruises can bless, how ruin can reveal, how wounds can water the dry places of another soul. It will not give you all the answers. God rarely does. But it will give you a lantern for the midnight orchard, a whispered reminder that what crushes you can anoint you. Somewhere in this story, you will find your own branches, your own fruit, your own unexpected sweetness. May these pages show you how to press your lemons, stir your sorrow, and lift a glass of hope to your lips, trusting that even the sourest moments can become the nectar of a life well lived, a business well built, and a faith well rooted. There is lemon on the other side. There is lemonade on the other side, and it tastes like grace.
Ooh,
Ooh, nice.
beautiful. So
Thank,
beautiful.
Awesome,
thank you.
Tommy.
Thank you.
So
That's
tell
my
us,
little introduction to the book. Goes on sale tomorrow for 99 cents. The QR code is in the chat I sent, and
Was that on Amazon?
it's on Amazon. Yep.
yeah,
When God Hands You Lemons goes on sale tomorrow morning for 99 cents.
Woohoo,
So,
thanks.
yeah.
so everybody go
Would
tomorrow morning as soon as you wake up.
would you please repost that, Tommy? I joined late, so I don't
Oh,
have
yeah.
that chat.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't see it. Oh,
Uh, there it is. Just sent it again.
Beautiful. And don't forget, save the
Uh,
chat. Save the chat right now. Don't wait till the end of the call. Just
So if you just click on that screenshot, it will enlarge, and then you can snap a picture of it if you like.
that'd be a good idea. So go ahead and do that. We're going to have a short call today because I have a hair appointment. And I have a hair appointment because I slept through it because I had jet lag on Friday. So one of the most horrific things with traveling on the other side of the world is jet lag. And even though I've gone to Egypt, I've gone to Africa, I've gone to many places far away, this has been the biggest jet lag I've ever experienced. And I don't know why exactly, but boy, I slept, got home about midnight on, oh, midnight, my hair's tangled in my nails. Got home on Thursday about midnight and slept until Friday at 4:30. I finally woke up. So it was yeah, it was crazy. And then got up for few hours and then went back to sleep again. I was just, done. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about the trip. So we flew there was like 10 of us. 4 of us were competing. And so we flew into Milan, which took about 14 hours to fly into Milan, Philippines. And there it's like crazy. There's crazy traffic. Everybody's in a little scooter, not a motorcycle. They're scooters, like automatic two wheels, look like motorcycles, but they're the lower end. And they're everywhere. They're up on the sidewalk and they go through traffic, and there's thousands of them. They're like little ants or little bugs, that go above the cars, and it's crazy. And that's how they get around. There's cars too. In Milan, there were police, there were armed guards everywhere. So I don't know what that tells you, but that wasn't making me feel too comfortable. But anyway, so we got there a couple days, got over our jet lag, went to the competition, which was not, it ran as well as they are here in California, even though it was the same organization. And I got to see the CFO was there, the CEO, CFO was there, and then the head judge that I know was there. So there's people, in the lineup that I knew, but it just wasn't ran quite as good. It was a smaller show than most shows, but I also found out that I couldn't get a pro card because they don't give them out to people to 50 and over, 60 and over. They don't have them in that category. So that, I know, very sad. So that's something we're going to have to change with the NPC, the National Physique, whatever, whatever that stands for. So yeah, they don't give them to you. So, but anyway, one girl in our group for fit model did get her pro card. And so we're all happy about that. We're very happy about that. I did win first place in 60 plus and second place in 50 plus. And in 50 plus, a friend of mine, it was just me and the friend that came with us, right, who's 56. And so I was, before the competition, I was showing her how to do comparisons, because you have to do comparisons, meaning they compare your glutes, with the other people, right? The other competitors, so it's just me and her though in that division. And so, so when we did it, it was like, I had to laugh because I'm the one that taught her how to do it. So we're like in sync, like in, like the swimming in sync. We did it exactly the same because I'm the one that taught her how to do it. Of course, she won. Her glutes were much better than mine, but we're talking 21 years difference, but she, beforehand, she's my trainer's sister. So she was like crying, not crying physically, but she was like, I'm so scared I'm going to lose to a 71-year-old. I'm so scared. And she's 56. So I give her a run for her money. But yeah, so I got second, but that was fun. It was just fun. The whole thing was fun. And then after that, the next morning, we flew really early in the morning, at 3 a.m. in the morning. We flew to El Nido, right? Which is an island. And we had a photo shoot there. I mean, some of the photos are on Facebook, but that's where that came from. The girls put together a photo shoot. So we did a photo shoot. And then we stayed there a few days, loved the little city. And I want to tell you, if you ever can get to the Philippines, go, because everything there is so inexpensive compared to here. Your dollar goes really far. So like a cab ride here might be $100, it's $20, right? A massage here that's $100 is like $5, right? Getting we got our lashes done for fun. It was like $10. And here it's $120, so you don't need a lot of money once you get there. It's all pesos. You do need their money though. They don't take American money like Mexico will. You could just do it, but they do take pesos, but Filipino pesos. Anyway, so we stayed there for a few days, and then we went to an island. We took a boat to an island called Metatalk or something like that, and we were alone. It's a hotel. And that's it. And you're there on the island with whoever's there. And you have to take a boat and get off the boat and get on a bridge and go into the place where the hotel is. I mean, just talk about paradise. I didn't even know this existed. And that was fun. We kayaked and snorkeled there. So we're, and it was stormy, this weather, we had that kind of stormy weather, but usually at night, and during the day it was beautiful. And then we took rides to like different places and caves and different beaches and stuff like that when we were there. And then after, it's like every day we stayed like 3 or 4 nights at each place. And then from there we went to Bangkok, and that was exciting. Now they have all the motor scooters and everything too, but the energy there was different. There was no policeman. It was high energy. They have a ton of malls, a ton of malls. It's like the shopping capital, It's like being downtown LA, but everything's nice. I mean, it's just incredible. A lot of name brand malls and money and richness and, just a lot of people, but it was real high energy. It really felt good. So that was really nice. And we went on this floating water tour where they put you in this little boat, and then you go, it's like a market, so it's like a flea market where they have all the, um, souvenirs and stuff that you can buy. It's mostly souvenirs. I bought a couple little small paintings. Let me go get them really quick because I really love them. So I bought them from the artist herself. Look at how cute these are. They're elephants. Aren't those the cutest little things? And they're just little, they're little bitty.
Those are really cute.
Yeah, yeah. And, got to meet the artist, everything. So that was fun. And then, so we did that. And then I think the next day we came home. I think that was it. And then it's like a whole day. Well, it took a whole day to get to Bangkok because we had to take a little plane to catch a big plane to a little plane again, So that was kind of rough, but it was just fun. If you ever, I'm going back. I never thought I'd go back. I usually don't go back to places I've been because there's so much of the world. And I just want to say, God has created such a beautiful world out there. And I know a lot of you've seen a lot of it, a lot that I haven't seen, but it is fantastic. And the water is so clear. It's crystal clear, crystal clear. It's not like Santa Monica. It's not like Mexico. It's clear. You can see the bottom even at the shoreline. So crystal clear, glass clear. It's like the pictures. It's every bit like the pictures that they show. So it's really nice. Then when I got back, I went to the market here and I noticed how quiet everything was, right? Everything here is so quiet compared to out there because there's, except for the island, hustle, bustle, motor scooters, honking, boop, 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 boop. It's just noise, right? Egypt's like that too. But here it was just quiet. So I came back and I can appreciate, and this is slow. This felt slow, compared to what they were doing and driving. And it's crazy out there, just crazy, but fun crazy. But wow, I just came back and really appreciated where I live and where God put me, and that I can visit those places, but I can come back here and get back centered because, it's really discombobulates you, going that far away. So for that long. So, and just, I was blessed. Everything here was safe. And, so that was it. Yep. Yep.
Sounds fabulous.
Yeah. So next trip I'm planning to go to Bali. I'd love to go to Bali. That's one place I haven't seen yet. So Bali, I like tropical things, Bali, Bora Bora, places like that. Paris is on my list, but it's later because it's not there's no ocean, there's no water. But so have you all gone anywhere? Where have you gone that you really liked? I've been to Canada. I've been to Vancouver. Beautiful place. You can eat off the streets. It's so clean, and everybody's so nice. Love Vancouver. Yeah. And I've seen the gardens there. What is it? What's the garden? Victoria Gardens? Is that what it's called?
Bouchard.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
there. Beautiful, beautiful.
I've
We
been to,
just came back from a Alaskan cruise, and that was absolutely that was the best cruise I've taken, and I've taken lots of cruises. It's so nice. So if you haven't been on an Alaskan cruise, Norwegian, that's a very good one. We were in the back of the ship, so that's one of the best rooms you can get if you can get it, and so you can see everything. So it's beautiful.
So what, besides being on in the back of the ship, what else
Yes.
made it the best cruise ever?
Well, they have a special group, so when you embark, you don't have to go with the 1,000 other people. You have your own private elevator that you go down, that they take you. When you get back on the ship, there, instead of staying that long line, you have your own special entrance. So it was just the first class portion of it. So you had your own restaurants. The restaurant was really good. You had your butler, 24-hour service every day. Yeah, every day he bought us things, and it was our anniversary, so they had a cake for us. I mean, it was just a special treatment that you got, which was really nice. But the ship had everything that you could possibly think of doing, from comedy to nutrition to they had the gym. So it was just a very nice trip. Yeah, the food was delicious. Mhm.
Good. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ramona, you were gonna share?
oh, I was just going to say, because I have kids who have, been to Europe and stuff, I've taken a couple trips to Europe, Paris and Germany. And, really the fun of it was actually because my kids knew people, we stayed in their homes and got to really be familiar with people.
I love that when you can be with the locals and stay with the
Yeah,
locals.
it was cool.
That's-
So,
Jackie.
Well, where I was when I was gone a lot was the week after I finished radiation, we took off for Paris and spent one night in Paris. Then we flew to Istanbul, and we too were on a cruise. We went from Istanbul to Venice. We had a port in. We had a 14-day cruise, and we were in a different port every single day in Turkey, Greece, and finally finished in Italy. And then we flew back to Paris and went up to Normandy on our own. And the difference between Venice, which was 90 some degrees, and the Normandy coast, which was 50 some degrees in 24 hours. I bought a sweatshirt in Venice. I looked at the weather and I went, oh, I need another sweatshirt. And we both on the Normandy coast had every single piece of clothing on that we could find to put on ourselves. It was so cold because it was windy and damp, and but we had never been to Normandy, and I loved Istanbul. Istanbul was a phenomenal city, very mystical, and you have the Muslim culture interacting with the Christian culture, and everybody getting along, which is kind of cool.
Great. Yeah, I've been to Istanbul 15 years ago on a cruise. Yeah. So Jackie, how did you deal with the money from each of I mean, because the money had to have changed from each of those places a little bit.
No, not with the euro.
Oh, it's all euro?
No, Turkey isn't. Turkey's a lira, but everything else was the euro. So, you just had to get money for Turkey, and we were in 3 different places in Turkey.
Did they try to sell you a rug in Turkey?
Sure.
I always do that. All the guides take you right to the rug place. Oh, you want to see silkworms? Oh, yeah, everybody says. And then you've been bamboozled to looking at another rug presentation.
Yeah. You got to go to a rug presentation. It's just kind of where and we got to go to Ephesus too, which was a return trip for us. We've been there before, but even if you've been to these places, when you're on a cruise, you're there for 8 hours, and you just don't get to see very much. But we really enjoyed it. We got to go to Croatia and Montenegro and we had never been to either of those two countries.
Nice. Yeah, the cruise I was on, we were in Istanbul 2 days. Yeah, so we got to see, there's a lot of history there, a lot of museums, and we couldn't even get to all of them, you know.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot. And we just, from here to Istanbul is 18 hours flight. So we thought, okay, we'll just round trip from here to Paris, spend the night in Paris, and then when we came back home, flew back from Paris. So the longest portion of the trip was just Paris to LAX instead of 18 hours.
That's 18 hours from Paris to LAX?
No, it's about 11. But if either from either Venice or Istanbul, it was 17 or 18 hours.
Yeah. And do you sleep on the plane? I know you can't really. It's not really a sound sleep.
It's
Yeah.
it's not a good sleep. I mean, you rest, but I find like you coming home just kills you. I don't know if it's because you're excited when you get to where you're going, and so you want to do things, and when you get
Yeah.
home, you're sort of like, I'm
Yeah,
home.
it takes a while.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
you get
I lost my necklace. I'm so sad. I lost my weight, my what do you call it? My dumbbell, my necklace. I
oh,
competition because you can't wear necklaces. And I put it in the hotel room somewhere, didn't see it, and probably left it there. So I'm sad. That's a bummer. But anyway, I left a little bit of myself in Philippines. So who else has a real quick story, and then we've got to go. Who else has gone somewhere exciting like that? Carol, where have you been? You've been all over the world, right? Carol?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, one of my exciting places actually was to the Ukraine and Russia.
Ooh,
And
okay.
that was after the fall of the USSR. So it's been a year or two ago, but it was I was there on a working tour. So I got to explore, but I also was there to work and just experience the different culture from city to city and got to spend time with they were renamed Mafia, but originally they were the KGB, and learned to maneuver around them. Yeah, just fascinating times where they would actually follow you.
Oh dear.
And so yeah, it was some quick lessons in life, let me tell you. And I will share with you one night getting back to the hotel. I was walking up the stairs and I had this young male voice at the bottom of the stairs propositioning me to come back down and have a fun night with him. Well, what was happening was that the mafia were bringing their wives or girlfriends or wives and girlfriends to hotels and they were pimping them. And so this whole thing about, yeah, come have a good time with me. And I turned around and I looked at this young man and sometimes one should put tape over their mouths, but my response to him was, young man, you're about as old as my sons.
Uh-huh.
And is that your girlfriend behind you? And he shook his head, yes, because I think I surprised him with my response. And I said, the best thing you can do is you take her and you leave this hotel and you go home.
Good for
And I
you.
realized what I had said and where I was, and it was like, okay,
Oh,
Carol, just shut your mouth and
don't go any further.
and not go any further. But it just I mean another um, experience that I had there was in the city of Kiev, and I was asked along with three gentlemen to go into the University of Kiev and do a lecture on Economics 101. And that was an incredible experience, because when we walked into that room, into that lecture hall, it was, there were students from, the hall was full, so it was more than just the regular students in this economics class. But there wasn't a student who had a piece of paper or a pen or a textbook. And the only textbook in that room belonged to the professor. And the professor showed us the textbook, and it was from 1936.
That's horrible.
Well, but just put it into the context of, just like really stand back and think about that. I mean, it was amazing. Even for students, the comprehension that they must have had to develop, because, as I said, no pens, no papers, no textbooks. It was amazing. And that hour and a half, I guess the 90 minutes that we spent with them, they were so riveted on what we were talking about and sharing with them. Like, I mean, talk about one felt incredibly appreciated, just to be there, to be able to share with them. I've never forgotten those experiences. Like, they are still so vivid
That's
in my
amazing.
memory. Yeah.
I hope you add that to one of your books that you're writing, because that is special. Well, I need to run. So
Okay.
great connecting with all of you. We'll see you back here for our regular meeting next Tuesday. Make sure you save the chat. Make sure that first thing you wake up in the morning, you buy that book. It is worth reading. Worth reading.
You betcha.
When does your hard copy come out, Tommy? When does the hard copy come out?
You can purchase that tomorrow too.
Okay,
if you like,
perfect.
yes.
Do
But,
the 99 cents, because that's to push them up to bestseller, and then later you can come back and buy, right? The hard copy doesn't get you to the bestseller, right? Or does
no,
it? Yeah.
no,
So
no, it
do the
doesn't.
bestseller tomorrow, and then later come back and get the hard copy if that's easier for you to read. Okay? But
Okay.
because it's worth it.
Congratulations, Tommy.
Congratulations, Tommy. So good to see everyone.
Hey,
Good to
thank
see you
you.
too, Carol.
All
Bye,
right,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.